Kia ora everybody, Chris Farhi here, Bayleys Insights and Data team. We've got Ankur Dakwale talking about the biggest news in New Zealand real estate. Ankur, what have we got this week?
Yeah, it's quite an interesting week this week. Got the GDP growth numbers, sentiment in the housing market. We've got recent commercial sales in the Hawke's Bay, content from our global partner Knight Frank, and of course the property of the week.
Yeah, awesome lineup. So number one, right, we've got economic growth. This is the latest stats NZ GDP data. Ankur, what do we know here?
So the economic growth, so the GDP growth released by Stats New Zealand shows in the 12 months to June 2023, we had growth of 3.2%. In the June quarter itself was 0.9%. The main driver for this was growth in business services such as computer system designs.
Yeah, so super interesting. So that was a bit more positive than people were expecting, and obviously takes us out of that technical recession, which is cool. What might happen though is the Reserve Bank might be a bit more cautious about interest rates. Yeah, so we'll see how that sort of pushes through the market. Next up, number two, we've got housing market sentiment data. This is the latest Tony Alexander commentary around what's happening in the market, just built off the surveys that he operates. What have we got there?
Yeah, so the big word FOMO is making a comeback. That's what Tony Alexander has found, which has climbed substantially in the survey. More investors are heading back to the market as well, alongside a good demand for first home buyers. He believes that the market has switched from a buyer's market now to a seller's market. So this will be quite interesting coming into the spring selling season as well.
Yeah, super interesting, right? Like how quickly that market sort of sentiment has changed, particularly now that he's sort of put the seller's market stamp on it, which if you went back maybe like, I don't know, 6 months ago, you'd be like, there's going to be a period of time before this happens. So yeah, pretty cool to see. And the other sort of insight there is activity from first home buyers and investors suggests that the recovery is being led from the lower end of the market rather than the top end of the market. So just a little interesting nugget. Number three this week, we've got Bayleys Commercial launched their latest total property portfolio. What have we got here, Ankur?
Yes, this is Total Property 7, so the penultimate one for the year. It's got 69 commercial properties for sale around New Zealand, and a couple of market insight articles as well. We've got Property Life Cycles, which is an update on the commercial property market, from small beginnings, so a look back on 50 years of Bayleys, second wave of sustainability, just complexity around sustainable real estate, and the Golden Triangle, which is megatrends and projects within the Golden Triangle.
Yeah, super interesting, particularly that look back on 50 years of Bayleys. We just hit obviously our 50-year sort of birthday for the business, and there's some interesting properties that transacted over that period, and that article in particular has a bit of banter around some of those transactions, so quite interesting. Next up, we get into our weekly sales snapshot. The snapshot's powered by the team at Bayleys Hawke's Bay with a sample of recent commercial property sales in the Hawke's Bay. So what have we got first, Ankur?
Yeah, first up we have 29 James Rochfort Place in Hastings. Now this was a Hawke's Bay winery, which is fully operational, 3,183 square meters of floor area and 1.54 hectares of land area. High quality plant and equipment with over 100 stainless steel fermentation tanks. It was vacant possession, sold for $7.5 million or at $2,356 per square meter on the floor area, and sold by Mark Evans from Bayleys in Napier.
Yeah, then next up we've got 38 to 52 Barton Avenue in Napier. So this was a 5,081 square metre Napier residential development site. Total tongue twister there. So freehold residential land with residential zoning, former school site with $160,000 per annum in net passing income. Sold for $3 million, or about 5.3% initial yield on the passing income, or about $590 per square metre on the land. They were sold by Kerry Gange from Bayleys Napier.
And last up, we have 15 Lakeview Road in Waipukurau. This is a mortgagee sale, development and/or lifestyle. 24,619 square meters of land with resource consent for a 28-lot subdivision, and it was sold for $858,858. Sold by Kerry Gange and Jody Whitfield from Bayleys and Napier.
Yeah, sale price on that one's pretty entertaining. Next up, we're going offshore. We've got our global partner Knight Frank's latest global super prime intelligence for Q2 2023. And so this tracks residential sales above US $10 million across 12 key global markets. What have we got here, Ankur?
Yeah, so as with all markets, the sales volumes are dropping in this market as well, but they remain ahead of the pre-pandemic level. You had 422 sales in Q2 23, and this was down 13% on Q2 22, still higher than in 2019, so pre-pandemic, and the biggest increases were in Dubai, Sydney, Paris, and Geneva.
Yeah, super interesting there, and some pretty cool properties rolling around in that price bracket, so worth checking out that piece of research. And finally, to wrap up, we've got our property of the week. Ankur, what have you got for us this week?
Yeah, so my property of the week this week is 291A Tamaki Drive in Kohimarama in Auckland. And this is beachfront indulgence, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms with 2 car parks, prized waterfront position on Tamaki Drive, great indoor-outdoor flow, and walk over to the beach. And so if you want to learn more, please get in touch with William Liang, David Nightingale, or Victoria Nightingale from Bayleys in St. Heliers.
And then for me, I've got 20E 166 Gloucester Street in Christchurch. This is a breathtaking home amongst the clouds. 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 3 car parks, luxurious sky-high apartment, quite unique for the Christchurch market. This is located in the core of the city with all the convenience at your doorstep. And if you want to learn more about this one, contact Angela Webb or Charlotte Heslip from Bayleys Christchurch. Well, that's it. We'll wrap it up here. So thanks very much, Ankur.
Thanks, Chris.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.